Welcome back for another video. 2 game weeks left before the World Cup, not long to go. In today's video we'll be running through the Gameweek15 team selection and the transfer plans. If you missed the Gameweek15 players to buy video, that'll be on screen at the end too. If you want to up your FPL game this season, click the link below to join Fantasy Football Scouts members area. Essential tools such as the season ticker, player comparison, custom data tables and more, which will help you improve your game. I'm a member myself and I can't recommend it enough. If you are interested, click the link below, which supports the channel too. So starting with a quick look back at how Gameweek 14 went. A poor gaming with just 54 points. Tony, Zaha and Mitrovic all picking up yellow cards, and both Foden and Dyer benched. It was Dyer's first benching of the season and certainly unexpected. Newcastle were outstanding again, Trippier with the biggest score of the season, 11 points, Pope keeping his 6th clean sheet of the season for us, as did Cancelo. Salah delivered, which was good, but it was certainly a troll game week for many of us. Tony's yellow card in stoppage time was very careless, and as a result he's suspended for Gameweek 15, which is one issue that we'll need to deal with. The goal is to take 2 green arrows into the World Cup from here, so let's take a look at how the team's shaping up for Gameweek 15. Newcastle are up against Southampton playing away this game week. Pope and Trippier are the top scoring goalkeeper and defender respectively, and it's another good fixture on paper before a tougher game in Gameweek 16 against Chelsea. No defender has provided more than Trippier's 117 crosses this season, nor his 63 corners. The fact that he's on set pieces is partly what makes him such a fantastic pick. There's always potential every match for an assist off a corner, or even a goal from a direct free kick. Certainly England's first choice in that right back spot at the World Cup currently. The rest of the defence is Cancelo and Williams. Man City top the clean sheet odds for a home fixture against Fulham this weekend. They play midweek in the Champions League against Sevilla, however they are already qualified and out of the group stages, so let's hope for the likes of Cancelo getting a rest. There's a decision to make with the third defender in the back 3. As it stands it's Nico Williams, though we also have Dyer, but he does face Liverpool. Nico was benched last match, but it was a poor result, losing 5-0, and therefore perhaps he gets a chance again versus Brentford, who will be without Tony as well. A transfer could be spent on a better defender, though there's probably better areas to spend them, more on that later. The midfield is Salah, Zaha, Martinelli and Foden. At this point ideally you'd want De Bruyne over Salah and a different midfielder over Foden. It's unfortunate how that one's played out in recent game weeks, but Foden looked a very good pick, having started all of the games up until the last 2. With Tony suspended, Salah will survive until the World Cup, as there's more pressing areas to spend the transfers. Zaha's another one who will survive until the World Cup in all likelihood. He's not delivered as much as we'd hoped during a very good fixture run, with 1 goal and 1 assist in his last 5. His final 2 games are West Ham and Forest away, which still have potential for him to get something. With the power of hindsight, Almiron would have been an incredible transfer instead of Zaha, who has the most points in the league over the last 6 game weeks. So Man City do have the early kickoff on Saturday. We hope to get some early team news again as we did last game week. The decision was made to stick with Foden last game week when we learned of his benching, because these final 2 games are unbelievable on paper. If we catch wind again that he's benched again, then he may leave the team. There is the option for a move like Salah and Foden to De Bruyne and Bowen. Ideally he's uninvolved versus Sevilla or just a cameo off the bench. However, if we were to sell Salah and Foden, it would be a -4 because the front 3 is Mitrovic, Haaland and Wilson, and a transfer has been spent already, moving Tony to Wilson. Both will head the opposite way in price, so we've made a rare early transfer. It's a bit easier to justify when it's concerning a player who is out, Tony in this case, and also when the team doesn't have any midweek football, which applies to Wilson. This leaves us with 1 free transfer left and a few ways it can be spent, more on that shortly. We hope to get some clearer news by the deadline on Haaland's availability. As it stands, he gets the captain armband. Pep confirmed that he is unavailable for the Sevilla match midweek, and he's not yet training with the team. He could be doing individual training. At this point in time we just don't have all the information. Again, if it is up in the air, then hopefully we get some early team news pre-deadline on Saturday. It is a 1:30 PM deadline UK time, so make sure you're tuning in for the deadline stream and subscribe to the channel so you can catch it in your feed. On the bench is Verse and Dyer, Andreas and Fofana. A decision to make still on starting Dyer or banking on a Nico start who does have better clean sheet odds. There's no standout fixtures from a defensive perspective, so we're unlikely to spend a transfer in defence. There's the option to do Fofana to Cresswell or Dung, but we'll take the risk on a move that looks higher upside. The transfer plans will be dictated by any early team news we get, so I recommend you all look at your teams and have a few plans based on different outcomes, for example if Foden's benched or if Haaland's benched, and of course there are 7 other teams with the early kickoff too, so there's lots of potential for early news, and anything we do get will be covered in the deadline stream. We've got 0.8 mil in the bank, and one move being considered is Mitrovic to Solanke for the second transfer. who has Leeds away and then Everton at home before the break, while Mitrovic has Man City away and then Man United at home. As mentioned, if we catch wind that Foden's bench and De Bruyne starts, then Salah to De Bruyne and Foden to Bowen is also an option for a -4. With De Bruyne and Bowen having back-to-back home games before the World Cup break, it could be a good pair of moves, even for a hit. So that wraps up the Gameweek 15 team selection. Thanks for watching. Please drop the video a like and subscribe so you don't miss all the weekly content on the channel to help you improve your rank this season. See you soon for the next one.